tell you a story. The first time I went to Walt Disney World in Florida, I had over 16 hours of traveling by plane, by car, by shuttle busing, everything. And when I was there, it was a huge change in environment. It was a huge change in culture or language, even though I speak the English language very, very well. When I sat down in the restaurant for the first time, after looking for what should we eat and how should we do it and what is this all about, and we entered the park at 8 p.m. If you ever went to Walt Disney World, 8 p.m. is the worst time to enter Magic Kingdom because Happily Ever After is to start in an hour. We sat down in a restaurant and we had food, and we were in a really silent place, a really empty place of the area of the restaurant. I cried my eyes out, and not the cute kind of crying. I was bawling. It was liquids coming all over my face. It was terrible. I was almost 24 years old. It was in 2017 and I was with Mark, with my boyfriend, with my partner. It was not that I was really tired, because Mark was also really tired, but I was so overwhelmed with everything, overstimulating. About 10 years before I went to Disney World for the first time, I was diagnosed with ADHD. And I got my meds and I got training, but still, it was so overwhelming to me. And Disneyland Paris is the most beautiful place in the world, especially for us, for people with a handicap, with a disability, with neurodivergence, because we get to get away from the real world for a second. But Disneyland Paris can also be really frustrating. It can be really overwhelming. It can be a trap how to navigate your disability through Disneyland Paris. And we at Magical Vacation Guide, we really want to help you navigate your disability through Disneyland Paris. So Disney, and we have a couple of solutions and tips for you on how to navigate your disability or neurodivergence through Disneyland Paris. First, I'm going to talk about special cards. Then I'm going to talk about mobility in the parks. And thirdly, I'm going to give you some tips on how to relax and unwind when you're overstimulated. So first, I'm going to talk to you about cards. There are two types of cards. You have the priority card and the easy access card. The difference between both in the main term is priority card is for short-term illnesses like a broken leg or injuries, and the second, easy access card, is for long-term illnesses. Think about when you're epileptic or when you have autism. So the first thing you're gonna do is determine whether you have a long-term or short-term illness. Then you go to the Disneyland Paris website and check out what you need. What do you require? Because you need official medical documents from your doctor, from Centra. But here's the trick. For every illness, for every card, there are different requirements. So please make sure to get that one right. For example, when you get a medical document for a priority card, so the short term, you need to get a note from your doctor in English or French that you have a broken leg. You need to get that proved. And for the easy access card, for the long term, for example, autism, you need to get some kind of pass or medical documents depending on your country and your illness. And it must not be older than 3 months. So you must not get it too early, because you will not get it. It only has 3 months of expiration dates. So once you have those medical documents, when you are in Disneyland Paris, you go to City Hall here on Central Plaza, and you also have a station in Walt Disney World, and it's close to the stroller rental. But when you are in City Hall, make sure to be here on time in the morning, because you have to wait a long time. You can get your actual card that gives you the privileges of a priority and easy access card. When you have your card, you can now enjoy the fun. So when you have your card, you can go to the attraction. Go to a cast member, mostly at the exit, and show them your priority or easy access card, and they will most likely give you a time frame to when to come back, so you don't skip the line, but you wait out the line somewhere else than the line. Do you get it? So you don't get overstimulated. So then you go back, you go into the ride, really easy, at the exit, and then you can enjoy the ride with your cards. If you are not very mobile, if you have a low mobility, Disney has also come up with a solution, because you have different routes before, for example, when you have a wheelchair. You can download a map for mobility on the Disneyland website, where they give you the special routes, because Disneyland, because of the experience, have a lot of bridges and a lot of tunnels, and it's not always very mobile. But this map will help you with your mobility. It doesn't mean that you're eligible when you have a diagnosis like ADHD or when you're a highly sensitive person. And it doesn't mean that when you have a priority or easy access card, that having those cards will make you less overwhelmed, because overwhelmed is only in a little corner. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to get less overwhelmed and unwind when necessary in Disneyland Paris. The first tip I want to give you is start at home with preparation. It depends really on the needs of you or your child, perhaps, what you really need. For example, one of the needs that your child might have of you or your needs is that you want to see the ride before you enter, so you can get less overstimulated. There are lots of full tours or full rides on YouTube available. So if you think that's what your child needs or you need, go check them out. If you want to know what it's like being in Disneyland, there are a lot of vlogs, a lot of YouTubers who show you, who give you an impression of Disneyland Paris without actually betraying how it is. So you can experience it, but you get a little bit of feel. You can find out a lot online. For example, the map, the attractions. You can do some research. You can do some research in the app for how long do you have to wait, for example. Start at home. Once you get here, there are also a lot of tips and tricks you can do. So tip 2, relax enough. Listen to your body and pull out when necessary. There are a lot of easy, underwhelming places where you can get unwind. There are a lot of corners, the outside corners of Disneyland Paris. For example, when you have Discoveryland, behind Hyperion Cafe, there are a couple of benches, and also with the theater behind Hyperion there's a smoking area, and maybe that's not your cup of tea, but it gives you a lot of tranquility. Same goes for the theater for Mickey and PhilharMagic, which is also in Discoveryland. If you go to the theater, you find a lot of tranquility and quiet. And there are lots of places. For example, with the Lion King theater show, you also have a lot of quiet places, so look on the outside. Tip 3 that I have for you. When you still want to enjoy the Disney things, but get a little bit unwinded, go make sure to do the attractions or see the shows that you like, so you can get less overwhelmed. For example, you can go on the train, you can go for a ride, just sit easy still, enjoy the view, go to a show where you can unwind, you can sit still. Mickey and PhilharMagic is also really good. Just listen to your needs and think about what you like, and do that research if you want. If you also really want to do a Disney experience, but the attractions are not your cup of tea, and you really want to do Disney, you can also go to restaurants. Just get a drink, just unwind, just sit still. For example, Victoria's Homestyle on Main Street is a really good place. You have table service, you can get a drink, you can get something to eat. It's really nice there, but avoid the counter service restaurants, because they can get really crowded, it can get really pushy, The tables are really close together. It's not a really good place to unwind and to relax. It's not. Prefer all you can eat or table service restaurants. And if you have enough of the parks, you can always go outside without losing too much time. You can always go to Disney Village and unwind there. Tip 4 that I have is also preparation. Make a reservation in time for a restaurant that you like, so you don't have the anxiety coming up to your vacation, because that anxiety will overwhelm you or your child or that other person in your party. Tip 5. Think about Premier Access. You have two kinds of Premier Access. You have Premier Access 1 and Premier Access Ultimate. We'll explain that all in this video. Basically, it's skipping the line, but you have to pay for it. Tip 6. Get a hotel on property. If you have a hotel on property, it's really easy to go back and just relax on your hotel room or in your hotel. It's only 10 minutes of walking distance. If you get a hotel off property or apartment hotel, you have to take a shuttle bus, you have to go by car, there's so many more steps. So get that Disney hotel. Go to our website and check out which Disney hotels there are available and which one fits your wishes and your needs. And with the best price guarantee if you book through us. And the last tip I want to give you, show you, there are lots of easy ways to get through the park. The little roads that are quite silent and quiet and tranquil, but nobody knows actually. The first one is here when you come from Liberty Arcade and go to Frontierland. Let me show you. It's pretty quiet. If you want, you can also enjoy these Disney details with the old posters. These are all attractions, and oh, this is the restaurant in Adventureland or Frontierland. So now we're at Frontierland without crossing Central Plaza, so you have a lot less stimulants. And we've encountered like 4 people or something, but now let's hop to Adventureland. You will enter Adventureland, but if you walk through, I think there's also a route. Oh, Adventureland. They should install benches here so you can sit easily. Or maybe not, because people will find out. For your perspective, this is a really crowded day. And how many people have we encountered? Like 4, 6 maybe? And here you are, Adventureland. Here you have it, our take solutions and tips on how to navigate your neurodivergence or disability through Disneyland Paris. If we have missed any tips or any solutions, please comment down below, we'd love to know. And be aware, when you watch this video and it's a little bit later in the year, these disability rules change all the time. So don't be surprised if we make another disability video later this year when our new developments, because they change a lot. If this video has helped you or if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It is free and you really help us. Thank you so much for watching. I really love making this video for you because I struggle it with myself and I'd love to help you. Thank you so much for watching and we hope to see you next time in another video because we make a lot more content like this. Bye bye.